How and why is this string of text a fork bomb? Found on a random CHAN board. Somehow running this results in an infinitely spawning process that runs rampant and grinds the machine to a halt. I see something about Sue attempting to be executed numerous times. Which is strange, because I just expect text to be output, not the execution of anything. Running this text through an online decoder just gives me a batch of binary spew. What is this mess of text actually doing, and is there a way to safely view it?
First, let's look at the whole command. It contains a double-quoted string that gets echoed to Unicode. But, note that, within the double-quoted string is a back-quoted string. This string gets executed. The string is. If we look at what's in it, we see 3 commands. Performing brace expansion on the middle command, we have. The first line tries to run a nonsense command in background. This is unimportant. The second line is important. It defines a function R which, when run, launches 2 copies of itself. Each of those copies would, of course, launch 2 more copies. And so on. The third line runs R, starting the fork bomb. The rest of the code, outside of the backquoted string, is just nonsense for obfuscation. How to run the command safely? This code can be run safely if we set limit on function nesting level. This can be done with bash's funcnest variable. Here, we set it to 2 and this stops the recursion. The error messages above show that a. The nonsense commands RUDL and Y29J are not found, b. The fork bomb gets repeatedly stopped by funcnest, and c. The output of echo does not start with begin and, consequently, is not valid input for Unicode. The fork bomb in its simplest form. What would the fork bomb look like if we removed the obscuration? As NJZK2 and Garrett suggest, it would look like. We can simplify that even further. That consists of 2 statements, one defines the fork bomb function R and the second runs R. All the other code, including the pipe to Unicode, was there just for obscuration and misdirection. The original form had yet another layer of misdirection. The op has provided a link to the CHAN board discussion on which this code appeared. As presented there, the code looked like. Notice one of the first comments about this code. I fell for it. Copied only the part that echoes and decodes, but still got fork bombed. In the form on the CHAN board, one would naively think that the problem would be the eval statement operating on the output of Unicode. This would lead one to think that removing eval would solve the problem. As we have seen above, this is false and dangerously so.
To answer the second part of your question, is there a way to safely view it? To diffuse this string, replace the outer double quotes by single quotes and escape the single quotes occurring inside the string. Like this, the shell will not execute any code, and you're actually passing everything straight to your decode. Other alternatives are noted in the comments. Casbird suggested. Jacob Krall suggested to use a text editor, paste the contents, then pass that file to your decode.
At a first glance, you might think that output to the shell will never get executed. This is still true. The problem is already in the input. The main trick here is what programmers call operator precedence. This is the order the shell tries to process your input. Compose the string by executing all backticks commands inside it. Usually an unknown command, which would cause some output, like if readdl is not a typo, you can use command not found to look up the package that contains it. Depends on the system. Executes too. In the background. You will never see an output. Define the fork bomb function. Command separator. Run the fork bomb. Insert the result of 6 into the string. We never come here. The error is to think that echo would be the first command to be executed, you decode the second. Both of them will never be reached. Conclusion: double quotes are always dangerous on the shell.